So after the conclusion of the 2024 NFL Draft, we handed out our Eagles draft grades as we do every single year. And coming up on today's show, we're going to try something different, a new segment, Eagles UDFA grades, in-depth scouting profiles and grades on the undrafted free agents that Philadelphia signed after the draft. And keep in mind, this list that we're about to go through here, the confirmed names who the Eagles have signed. There are other names that aren't confirmed as of right now, but obviously when that happens, we'll pass that information along. Before we get started, I want to say thank you to all of the real ones for all of the love and support because we surpassed 74,000 subscribers. It's been incredible to see, as a guy who grew up in the Philadelphia area, how quickly this channel has taken off. So if you want Eagles coverage every single day and you haven't subscribed, hit that sub button right now. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Appreciate all of you for making today's show a part of your day. And it's all sponsored by Roan. Get 20% off when you use the code CHATSPORTS. I'm wearing their commuter polo right now. We'll tell you more about Roan coming up here in just a few moments. Let's first take a look at all of the Eagles UDFAs who are confirmed and then some of the names that are kind of dangling out there. But then when we hand out our grades, it's going to be those confirmed names. Gabe Hall, defensive tackle, Baylor. Gottlieb, Ayedze, offensive guard, Maryland. Kendall Milton, a physical running back out of Georgia. Anim Dankwah, offensive tackle, Howard. McCallan Castles, a tight end from Tennessee. Sam, safety out of LSU. Talik Keaton, wide receiver, Marshall. And Kanion Williams, a safety out of Tulsa. We're going to talk about a lot of the players on that list. I want to start off with Gabe Hall, the Baylor defensive tackle, who I think is one of the more notable names on this list, of course, but has a realistic chance to potentially make this 53-man roster as a backup DT on this Eagles team. When I scout him, surprised he didn't get drafted. A lot of NFL draft analysts had him going maybe in the 4th round, 5th round, 6th round, if not in the 7th round, and his name not called throughout the 3 days of the 2024 draft, had a really good Senior Bowl week down in Mobile, Alabama, has a couple of different pass rush moves that he's able to win with. He is a taller but leaner defensive tackle, 6'6", 291 pounds. So I think the athletic traits are pretty intriguing there, but because he doesn't have a lot of width to his frame, he can struggle a little bit against the run and get pushed around. But as a pass rushing defensive tackle, you can earn a spot in this league. And as we've seen, it's become a more pass-happy league where teams are putting more of an emphasis and a priority on defensive tackles who can win against the pass from the interior, and Hall was able to do that at Baylor. So my grade for Gabe Hall, I'm giving this an A. You get good value here, picking him up off the scrap heap. UDFA, you need defensive tackle depth in my opinion because you have Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams. Is PJ Mustipher going to make the team as a traditional nose? We will certainly see, and that's why I think Gabe Hall could maybe crack this roster if he balls out in training camp. Up next, Maryland offensive guard Gottlieb Ayedze played his entire college career as an offensive tackle, but because of the shorter arms, I think he's going to slot in more so as an interior offensive lineman at the next level. He played left tackle for 4 years, first started off at Frostburg State, and then his 5th year, he played right tackle at Maryland this past year in the Big Ten, where I thought he held up pretty solid against some really good competition. 6'4", shorter arms though, as I noted, only 33 inches. That's why I think he profiles more so as an interior offensive lineman, but he could step in and play tackle, I think, in a pinch because he has a lot of experience doing that on both sides, plays with a lot of control, ran very quickly in the pre-draft process, just over a 5-second 40-yard dash with some good size. My grade here, just a standard B. He's a developmental player, and I like the line versatility. He could probably play both guard spots in addition to already showing that in a pinch, if you need him to, he could play right tackle and left tackle. Today's poll question It will also be the pinned comment of today's video. Which undrafted free agent has the best chance to make the team? Test your football knowledge right now and predict it for me down in the comment section. As I mentioned off the top, today's show is sponsored by Roan. Get 20% off using the code CHATSPORTS. I'm wearing their commuter polo right now. You've seen me wear a couple of their different products. And what I like about what Roan has to offer, best menswear that's durable, high quality, going to last a long time, breathable, stretchable fabric. The more that you wear these products too, they have this incredible wrinkle release technology. I am willing to invest in quality, but also on the back end, after you invest in their own products, you don't have to go to the dry cleaner any longer. Because the more that you wear these shirts, their shorts and their pants too, the more that the wrinkles release with that wrinkle release technology. They also have odor-free technology too, so you're not going to be stinky if you're getting some drinks with some homies, you're at work around your coworkers, or you're trying to take a hot someone out on a date. So get 20% off when you use the code CHATSPORTS. Long sleeve polos and button-ups. You have the golf polos here, corner office comfort to the golf course, at work, whatever you want, Roan has you covered. Head to roan.com/chatsports. Get 20% off your order. Code CHATSPORTS. Next up, one of the more intriguing players on this UDFA list for Philadelphia, and that's Georgia running back Kendall Milton. Really physical. And this is a player who could end up being a goal line threat in the National Football League. For Philadelphia, we'll certainly see, because the Eagles right now, Saquon Barkley RB1, Kenneth Gainwell RB2. They drafted Will Shipley in the 4th round. That 4th running back spot, it is up for grabs, and we'll see how many running backs are on this Eagles 53. Milton has a chance to crack the roster. Huge and big for a running back. 6'2", 225 pounds. And he runs like a physical bulldozer who's a one-cut, straight-line running back who runs through contact, and oftentimes when you turn on the tape, he's not getting knocked backwards. He always falls forward for positive yards. And 1 in every 8.5 carries that he had at Georgia last year resulted in a touchdown. So if you get to the 2-yard line, because if you get to the 1, Philadelphia's going to run the brotherly shove. But if you get close to the goal line, Milton is a player who has a knack for finding the paint. And he just lowers that shoulder, lowers his head, and he's able to bulldoze you with that physicality. 7.7 yards per carry last year and 9 touchdowns for Georgia. Philadelphia loves a type of physical, bell cow, goal line back who will run your ass over. It's not like he's Marshawn Lynch, right? But the numbers are pretty impressive. The analytics pretty impressive that if you get near the goal line, oftentimes he's going to be able to find the end zone. My grade here, A. And why is it an A? Because he has a chance to be RB4 on this team and has a chance to maybe score a touchdown here or there in his rookie campaign. If not, he can have a role on an NFL roster, goal line, physical, touchdown eating running back. Howard offensive tackle Anim Dankwah is just a prototypical classic practice squad offensive lineman and tackle for the Eagles from the jump, who could 2 years, 3 years down the road turn into a solid player where you're like, of course Jeff Stoutland was able to develop him because he has all of the traits of being a developmental type of player. Holy size at 6'8", 353 pounds. Probably needs to shed a little bit of that bad weight, but the arm length and the wingspan, massive. 35 and an eighth inch arms, 85 and a half inch wingspan. That just allows you to keep edge rushers at bay and away from quarterback Jalen Hurts or whichever quarterback you're trying to protect. And at 353 pounds, standing 6'8", still ran a 5.44 40-yard dash. So the athleticism is there. And I'm not comparing him to Jordan Mailata, but in the sense that he is a project, in the sense that it could take some time to develop him, but then you could reap the dividends and the benefits of that on the back end. He's a Jordan Mailata idea type of project player. Practice squad to start, and we'll see if Jeff Stoutland is able to develop him in Jeff Stoutland U. I want to take chances on players. These are fun stories to talk about. So that's why I'm handing out an A grade here, because I want to see this guy in the preseason. It gives us reasons to watch in the third and fourth quarter of games to see what these players can become. Tennessee tight end, McCallan Castles. What a name right there. McCallan Castles, a former basketball player who wore the number 34 at Tennessee. It's just an ugly number for a tight end. There's no other way to go about it. I could give him an F grade for wearing number 34, but I'm not going to be harsh. We're talking about UDFAs here. Started his college career at Cal, then went to UC Davis, and then went to Tennessee. Only had limited production, 92 career catches in 46 games played, 28 starts. Basketball player, though, the athleticism, the light feet, going up to get it, it certainly shows. And it also shows in the sense that he needs to improve his blocking and his special teams ability. And if he wants to crack an NFL roster, you're going to have to show that you can block and that you can contribute on special teams, because you're not going to be a pass catcher right from the jump. But good athleticism. 4.67 40-yard dash at 6'4", 244. I'm going to give this a B grade because the tight end spot behind Dallas Goedert is up in the air. You signed C.J. Uzomah. You have Greg Calcaterra, Albert Okwuegbunam, but people are lying to you if they're going to say definitively who the tight end 2 is going to be, because first of all, it's going to be a competition for that spot. And then naturally a competition who's going to be tight end 3 and maybe even tight end 4 in the process. Then there's LSU safety Andre Sam. I saw a lot of people in our UDFA video when we did the tracker saying, I think that he can make the team. And a lot of people are excited about the player because he played at LSU. Before that, though, he played at McNeese State as well as Marshall. He is an older rookie at 25 years old. He's also smaller and a limited athlete at just 5'11", 191 pounds. But a reason why people like the game a lot is because he's physical and he is a thumper. I'm going to give this one a C+ grade. I don't mean to be too harsh, but he's an older prospect who is a little bit smaller. So with that, my Eagles UDFA class grade in its entirety is a B. When you want to talk about players who can make this team, I'm looking at Gabe Hall at defensive tackle. I'm looking at Kendall Milton at running back, and I'm excited to scout some of these players. It is a smaller UDFA class as compared to previous years because after last year, Howie Roseman put an emphasis on some of the future contracts, like a Julian Aquara, for instance. So grade the Eagles UDFA class here. A, B, C, D, or F. I gave you my grade. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section and share your thoughts.